So hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my world. I hope you enjoy this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button now and also hit that bell so that you never miss a video. And if you are a subscriber, welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you all for tuning in for my new video. So today I'm really excited to share a new product with you that I've never shared anything like this sort of thing on my channel before. As a woman who menstruates, obviously this is something that you have to deal with every single month, and the hassle sometimes it can feel to deal with menstruating every single month. So thankfully today we have many different options as women to help us with our menstruation every single month. And so I'm really excited to show you all this product because I've never used anything like this before, and I thought it would be really helpful to those who are looking for alternate options, especially when it comes to saving some money, because you know how much money can add up when you're constantly buying this product and that product and this product or this specific kind of product when for those who are menstruating. What I have in my hand are some reusable pads from HighOh. So I'm going to put the name of that company right here so that you have that information, and I'll also list the name of the company down in the description bar below. So someone from HighOh reached out to me to do a review on this, and this is their period starter kit. Period starter kit are soft washable charcoal bamboo menstrual pads that can also be used as, you know, bladder support or incontinence pads as well. So in this starter kit it comes with about 6 reusable pads. So I'm going to take them out of the packaging so that you can see. So these are what the HighOh pads look like. So this is the front. As you can see, it has this nice threading detail in the center. Looks just like a pad that you would buy from the store. You know, it's thickest in the center, as you can see where the separation is. And then on the back, it has these little clip-on buttons, so it gives you wings, as those who may use pads with wings. And it also have these 2 sizes for the buttons, so if you clamp it here, you can make it the longest. If you clamp it here, you can make it the shortest, depending on the size that you're most comfortable with. So this is what they look like. They have the label of their company on the back here as well, but these are all black. They're sewn very nicely, very nicely. So as you can see, they're sewn very nicely, very well put together. I am someone who does have a heavy flow, so I don't know if these will be able to support what I need, because I am a heavy bleeder, and it's because I have fibroids, and my fibroids have been causing my heavy bleeding. So I don't want that. If this doesn't necessarily work for me, hypothetically, I don't know, I've not used these yet. I hope it's not a case of like it doesn't work at all, but maybe it's just not working for me because I have a specific needs. They seem pretty thick. The fabric on the center seems pretty thick, like it can hold a bit much. I actually started my period today, so this is actually day 1 for me, and usually my periods are about 5 days in length, with the first 2 days being the heaviest, the 3rd day being like a medium flow, 4th day being on the lighter end, and the 5th day being the lightest. I use pads, I don't use tampons, just for those who are FYI. So if you're a tampon user, maybe this is not maybe this is not the ideal thing for you. Maybe it could just be a backup if you're going to sleep at night. Anywho, I say all this to say is I'm really excited to try these, and because I started my period today, I haven't washed these yet. So before I use them, I'm going to wash them tonight, and I'm going to dry them so that in the morning, which would be the 2nd day of my period, I'll actually be able to give you a much more accurate assessment of what these are like. I am working from home, so in case I do have an accident, I'll be home. So I'm going to compare this pad in comparison to the pads that I currently use. The pads that I currently use are the Always Infinity the flex foam, and I use a size 1, which is the smallest, which is just for regular flow. But then I primarily use Always Flex Foam Infinity in size 2. Like I mentioned before, I am a heavy bleeder, and so therefore I tend to use mostly these, and on my lighter days I use these. What I'm going to do is pull one of the pads from the ones that I use to see how it measures up to this as far as the length. So this is the size 2. So if you can see, this is the top and this is the bottom. So it's just a little bit longer not by much. And I'm gonna grab the regular size. This is the regular size pad in comparison to theirs. So it does look like theirs is a little bit longer than a regular size pad. So it looks like it is more, it's probably the length of a size 2 pad. So I will be tracking my progress. I just wanted to, you know, do this intro video just to show you guys what the products look like before they are used, because I'm gonna go wash them and then I'm gonna go use them. It doesn't state any instructions. It didn't come with any instructions on how it should be washed. It just says that the product is washable. So these particular pads are considered medium flow pads. So they're not meant, they're starter kits, they're not meant for your heaviest days. So I'm still gonna try it on my heaviest day. Like I said, I have 6 of them, so I'm still gonna try the pad on my heaviest day, which is tomorrow, and then I'll also compare it on day 3. So for the remainder of my period, I think once a day I'll just make sure one of the pads are gonna be one of the reusable pads, just to give you a more accurate assessment of how the pads function and how they hold up throughout my period. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated and I'll catch you guys in the next clip. So hey you guys, it has been officially about an hour since I've had the reusable pad on, and everything feels really good. I don't feel any leaks. I think I have like one small leak. You know, like when, as a woman, like if you have your pad on and like if you sit wrong, like instead of like the blood like hitting the pad, it goes a little past your underwear. Not that because the pad is full, it's just that the direction just happens to like leak a little bit past the pad. I think that's what happened to me. But this is a really small dot, but I don't think it's because of the pad. It's because this happens to me all the time when I wear pads regardless. If I lay down incorrectly, the blood will literally seep past the pad and onto my underwear or onto the bed or onto my clothes or whatever the case may be. But it has been officially an hour and everything feels great, everything feels dry. I can wear the pad for about it seems like my period has been really light this time around, which is really strange. So although it's the second day of my period, honestly my flow has been like the 4th day of a period, which is really strange for me. But I'm not mad though. I am not mad. I am totally a-okay. What I did mention in the previous clip is that I didn't like the wingspan of the pad. I wish it was a bit longer, and I'll show you why. So I have a pair of some undies that I have, and a clean, reusable pad that I have not used. This is what it would look like if you were to add it to your underwear. So when you put the pad on, so this is the crotch of the underwear, when you put the pad on, right, you're gonna apply it, move the crotch towards the center of where the wing is, and then you're gonna fasten the wing around. And as you can see, as I'm trying to fasten, because of the shape of the underwear, but some of it's gonna get bunched in a little bit. So like that. I don't know if you can see that fold. But button it in, and then it's fastened. And so that will be the only thing. I mean, this happens with, it does happen with regular pads as well, but the advantage of regular pads is that the wings are sticky, so I can kind of spread the wing, if that makes sense. Like I can make the wing adjust to the size of the underwear, versus this, it's not really adjusting because it literally, the button is here and you can't adjust the button. With the wing, you can make it fit to the size of the underwear and create the shape, if that makes sense. I'm hoping that makes sense. But pretty much if this was a regular pad wing, if the underwear size is here, I could literally fold the wing like that. If that makes sense. So therefore I'm not bunching the underwear, but with this, when I button the wings together, it will cause the underwear to bunch a little bit. Yes, this is what the underwear would look like with your pad on. So as you can see, it has a good coverage in the front, and then you flip it over to the back. That's pretty good coverage in the back. So it is now 1 o'clock, and I wore the reusable pad for about 3 hours, and the pad wasn't full or anything. I wanted to put a new one on because it was just like, it might have been 60% of the way, and I was just like, let's just change it. However, I did want to bring to your attention a couple of things that has happened since wearing it. So I'm gonna forewarn you now, it might be a little TMI, so if you're squeamish, you might want to skip past this next section. I'll probably put the markers down below so that you'll know what to skip and when to continue. So these are the shorts and the underwear I had on while wearing the reusable pad. So this underwear is actually a pair of underwear I got from Thinks. So this little dot here is where I had the spill. When I mentioned earlier in my earlier clip about it leaking past the pad, it was this one here. So I'm gonna show you inside of the underwear, because don't mind this, got a little bleached, had a little accident trying to clean these things out. But if you look here, then you'll notice the stain here, and then I had a second stain here, but it did not appear on the outside because the underwear traps it in. Also wanted to bring to your attention, so there's no stains here, but I didn't even realize this, or nor did I feel this, but I had two stains up here. So one right here and one right here. As you can see, it's still pretty damp, and that's where I had two stains. My shorts, so I had on some, some spandex exercise shorts. So this is the crotch of my pants. So you know how the wings of the pad, the edges can get soaked, and the edges was rubbed against the inside of my pants, and so that's the stain, which it happens to me occasionally with regular pads too. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's just unique to this thing, but it does happen. But I also wanted to make you aware. So it's been about 20 minutes or so, and I had to clean out all the blood out of my clothes, out of my underwear. But I just wanted to say that that pad is super absorbent, because I didn't realize how much blood was actually in the pad and how much it contained until I was wringing out the blood out of the pad under the sink, and it took me about like 5 to 7 minutes just to get all of it out, maybe close to 10 minutes. So I tried to get it out as much as possible, to the point where I could squeeze it and the water ran clean or clear, so that way I can actually then put it in the washing machine to be washed properly. I think I'm pretty good, and I think for me, because I have period underwear, and then with this reusable pad, I think it's like together it works wonderfully. So hey you guys, I am back to wrap this video all up, to give you my final thoughts about what I think about the charcoal reusable pads. So I want to start off first by talking about the pros about this product. The number one pro about this product is that the product is reusable. Like, you are literally using, you have a cloth pad that you're not discarding, that you can reuse over and over and over again until the life of the pad depletes. I'm not sure what the life of the pad is, but that could be years from now. Which leads into pro number 2, is that this product is very economical, because you're able to reuse this product. You are able to save money, overall throughout the entire year. If you think about how much money you spend on products related to your period, I don't know about you, but I spend a lot of money. And so this is a nice benefit, is that it kills two birds with one stone. I get to reuse it and I get to save money, which is super awesome. I would say, in my experience in using these pads, which leads me to pro number 3, is that the pad is very absorbent. So I was a little bit leery about whether or not this pad would be able to sustain my menstrual cycle, because my periods are heavy, and I was a little bit on the fence about whether or not this product would work for me. Thankfully, I've been working from home since quarantine began in March, and so I knew I had the advantage of, if I had an accident, at least I'd be home. So I had nothing to worry about. I would say another pro about this product, so this product is actually really easy to clean. Like, literally all I did was wring out the pad underneath running water in a sink until, like I mentioned before, until it ran clean, until the water ran clear or clean, and that was it. Like, I didn't add any other product to it. I didn't have to add detergent. Like I said, because it's so absorbent, you have to spend more time getting the blood out, but it was really easy. And which leads me to point number 5, is that this has no staining. Look at this. So this is a pad that I've used, and as you can see, the surface of the pad looks the same. There's no discoloration. I assumed that in using this product that it would cause some staining, you know, because based on like, because you know how sometimes if you ever had accidents in like your clothing or your underwear, sometimes blood stains are really hard to get out. But surprisingly, there was no staining left behind and it was very easy to clean out, which is really awesome. Another pro about this product, which is my 6th Pro, I didn't show you this in the first clip, but if you actually go on the website, they actually explain this to you. But if you're out in public and you can't get home and you can't wash the pad immediately, another benefit to this product is that the wings on the back is multi-purpose. So not only does it secure itself on your underwear so that it doesn't move or shift around, you can actually fold a used pad into itself with its contents and seal it away. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So this is what the pad looks like now, opened with the wings unbuttoned. You'd fold, you know, 1/2 of the pad towards the center. You'll fold the top half in the center, and then you would cross the buttons across from each other and pin in place just like that, which is really cool. So now if you're out in public, you have this, you know, you can discard this in your cute little pouch that they give you here, which I didn't show you guys in the first time too, but the company does provide you with a little wristlet that you can store, you know, you can store clean pads in here, or you can also store your used pad. So you can take your folded pad, stick it in here, and zip it away. So now you have a storage container for your used pads when you're out and about and you're not home to clean them immediately. So what I do like about the inside of this little satchel or this little wristlet is that the fibers on the inside are like plastic. It's made so that if there is any spilling from the used pad, that this will be a really easy cleanup, which is really awesome. So it is really discreet. It just looks literally like a little wristlet, and this has a little button snap here. So if you need to, I don't know, hook this on a backpack if you're a student and you're walking around, or if you're at the gym or whatever the case may be, it's just a really cool bag to hold all your, you know, your belongings in them. Now let's talk about some cons. So like, as much as I love this product and I think this is a really great investment, it is not perfect. So the con of a reusable cloth pad is that you have to clean it. And so if you like myself have grown up and always used disposable pads or tampons, the idea of having to clean your pad is just annoying. It's one thing to have to clean blood out of like your underwear or your sheets, your clothes, and you know how much of a hassle that is just to do those things. Imagine now you have to do the same thing with a pad. But like I mentioned before, it's not hard to clean out as long as you just, you know, as long as you're patient enough to sit in the bathroom or, you know, to wring out the pad for a few minutes, then that's it. It's literally just inconveniencing you for a few minutes just to get the pad cleaned, so that you can properly wash them afterwards. I don't know how comfortable you are with just handling blood, if blood makes you squeamish, even if it's your own. So if you fall into that category, if you're just one of the persons that is just like, no, I don't want to touch it, I just want to discard it, I don't want anything to do with it kind of person, and obviously a reusable pad is not for you at all. Like I mentioned before, the pad is really absorbent. That's one of the pros, right? That's awesome. However, in the previous clips, like I mentioned to you before, I did experience some leaks. It took me a few days to realize how I kept leaking, although the pad would not be full, but I still somehow had leaks in like my pants or my underwear, and I just could not figure it out. So I'll insert some pictures here. I had a really bad accident, but again, thankfully I was home, and thankfully it was on a chair that was an easy cleanup. And so the reason why on this pad, right, it has this edge. So you see these black edges is like the ending, is like the edges of the pad, right? So if you look at the pad up close, you'll notice that it has an edge, the black edges, but you'll notice that the black edges are sewn. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. There's thread along the edges of the pad. The same is true in the back. It's sewn on the edges. So when I was experiencing leaks, what was happening is that the pad would absorb, you know, the blood here, but then it would run off onto the edges. So literally if I pressed the edge like that, I would literally have blood on my fingertips. So the leaks normally happen for me in the front. So if this is the front of the pad, this is the front of the pad, and this is the back of the pad. Whenever I wore it, it mostly happened in the front and on the sides here. Because whenever I would touch the back of the pad was completely dry, but it was coming from the edges of the pad like that. So another con of this product, I am not a fan of the wingspan on the pads. I personally wish the wingspan was a bit longer to give me much more space for my underwear to be in the center. To me, it just felt like it was too snug for me, because like I have different underwears, and so the crotch of the underwears vary, and so it could be very annoying. So if the crotch of your underwear is wider than the standard, I guess, then that could just be just something that's just really annoying, because you literally have to like bunch your underwear in the center just to wrap the pad around it to secure it. So my thoughts overall on this product is that I think the product is an amazing product. If you are someone who is looking for a more economical way to care for your menstrual cycle each month, I think that this is definitely a great option that you should look into. Do I think it's completely going to replace me ever using disposable pads? Absolutely not. I guess it just depends on what day of my cycle it's on. So for me, if I'm like at work on my first or second day, I might not necessarily select these pads as my go-to, but definitely maybe the third or fourth day where it's a bit lighter and it's a bit more controlled for me, I will definitely pick these back up. But for me, it's not replacing disposable pads. And if I did use tampons like I used to, then it would not replace disposable tampons for me either. I think it's a great backup, that if you are someone who uses tampons, I definitely think this is an amazing backup to have, so that in case you do experience leaks, it is super absorbent, so to catch those leaks for you. If you haven't tried them, definitely try them for yourselves. I was a bit skeptical, but now I am a believer in the reusable pads. So if you have any questions about my review about the HighOh reusable charcoal pads, please let me know what you think. Have you used a product like this before? What's been your experience? Or do you use an alternative like maybe a Diva cup or whatever else is out on the market right now that I have no idea about? Please make sure you leave those questions or your comments in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed recording my experience. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button now and turn on the bell with the notifications so that you'll be the first to know when I upload. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.